Hello and welcome to Clay to Canopy, the show where I attempt to make just about everything from the ground up. Alright guys, welcome back. It's been a little while and this passenger car has done some setting up and I'm going to go over how to deal with cleaning that up. So I have a couple of tools that I'll be working with that I did not introduce earlier. So this is a shore form, or also known as it's a rasp. It has these little tiny teeth and you can actually easily flip these. I haven't used mine much. Alright, so now I flipped it so that the little cutter edge works on the pulls. You can flip it either way. I prefer the pull. This is not Shore4 brand, but basically it's a rasp. I'm going to be using this guy. And then I also have a rubber rib. These are all known as ribs. And then this is a wooden rib. And this will be using for a bit of smoothing. So first off, I'm going to flip this guy over and take a look at what's going on at the bottom. So I want to do some cleanup here. I noticed that my base is a little bit wonky. I'm going to come in with this fettling knife now that this is stiffened up a little bit and just trim along, kind of cleaning up. I want to be careful not to take off too much. I just want to even out some of the bits that maybe didn't look so smooth. While I am under here, I'm going to take the short form and I am going to use it to begin to grate away till I get to a nice surface. You need to be really careful when using this thing because you can see you can very easily clear away a lot of material very fast, and the last thing you want to do is take off too much and plow through any one of your joints that you put on there. I'm then going to move on to cleaning up some of the side of this train. Hey Bubba. Do a mixture between using the tip of this wooden rib so I can get a nice clean sharp edge. And then I can actually go and do that to these ends here. So I took this upright. Probably want to do this over a trash can so that you're not making a disastrous mess like I am. Also keep an eye on where you put this back down. Last thing you want to do is put it back down in a pile of these shavings, because then you'll end up with them all stuck to the bottom of the pieces you just cleaned. What you doing, Bubba Man? Alright, I think that's enough of the shaving bit. I'm going to set this aside a second so that I can clear this up so I don't end up risking getting any of these little bits of shavings stuck back onto the train. Now I'm going to take my rubber rib and use it to smooth out this roof. So I'm just going to come in and put down a little bit of pressure here. If you don't have a rubber rib, you could use your fettling knife. The blunt end, you want to use the back end where it's a little bit, not as sharp. and that can help do some smoothing as well. I just overall preferred having this rubber rib. This is the part where like the obsessiveness can totally kick in, where you're just like going over and over and over it non-stop, just trying to get everything smooth. I'm just using the fettling knife at a pretty much a 90-degree angle to come in and clean up the under edge of this. Once I've cleaned up the train, the next thing I want to do is add on any of the physical attachments. And in this case, because this is the passenger car, the only thing I need to slip and score and attach are going to be the wheels. And the rest of it, I use the carving method to go in and do the windows and the other parts. I do want to take care of those wheels right away because as time has progressed, this piece has dried out and we don't want to risk the wheels not sticking. I'm going to show you how to make those wheels to attach to the train. Alright, so I have a scrap slab of clay that I use a rolling pin to thin out a little bit, and I have a washer, but you could use a quarter. Quarter works just fine. The sets of wheels on a standard train would be 3 on the back, 3 on the front as far as one side view goes, and then obviously the same thing in the back. Let's take a look at this train car, see what I'm talking about. And so we have 1, 2, 3 on one side and 1, 2, 3 on the other side, but then, you know, that's in reverse on the opposite side, so you're looking at 12 wheels total. So I just used a washer to place it in the center. Again, you could use a quarter. I'm just taking my needle tool and I'm coming in and tracing around. I'm not cutting through, I'm just tracing around. And then I'm going to, while I have this washer open, guess at where the center point is, just to give me a point of reference. And I have done that several times on this slab. And then the first thing I'm going to do is to come in with the needle tool and score a double line here. Just coming in, not too thick. I'm just visually looking at what aesthetically looks pleasing around. And this particular red clay has a lot of grog in it, which is little tiny bits of ground up already fired clay. Okay, so now that I have that little center point, I'm going to use it as a reference, and I'm going to draw basically a Y, dividing it into 3 pie slices. Then I am going to thicken my pie slice. This little line we're thick. And then I'm going to go in between and add another one, so I end up with 6 segments. Now you can use the needle tool to do this next part, or you can use this other loop tool, which I'll show you in a second, but basically you're going to just come in and pick up some of this stuff that's sitting inside the triangled edges that you have there. I'm not carving all the way through, I'm just carving enough to give it a little bit of a design here, and I'm okay if it looks a little gritty in there, it's okay. And then there it is, you have these tiny little spokes going on in there. Now I also have this tool, which is a little loop. I actually enjoy using this one. This helps kind of scoop out a little bit better than just the needle tool, but you use what you have. I'm going to go ahead and carve out all of this negative space first before I cut these wheels off of this slab. It's just going to make it a little easier, and it'll help keep these wheels pretty wet and not dry out too quickly before we get them attached to the train. If I would have cut all of them out individually, by the time I got it onto the train it would dry out by the time I did all the carving. I'm going to cut these wheels out now. You don't want to use your fettling knife because it's going to be too thick to get in here, and I would suggest using your needle tool to come in and kind of chop around. Or if you have this tool that I was working with earlier, it has a nice pointed sharp edge, and that can actually come in and do some decent cutting. Okay, pop that out, and then I'm just gonna rub around with my finger a little bit to kind of smooth that wheel out a bit. And then that's one. There we go. I can go ahead and get slip-ins cord and attach to the undercarriage of your train. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out and then show you me attaching them to the bottom of the train. Before I repeat that, I will come in with the fettling knife and blend. I'm just grabbing a tiny little bit of that wheel and squishing it down along with swishing it down onto the base of that undercarriage so that I can make sure it's blended well. And then I'm just going to give it a little push, make sure it's attached. If I push on it and it just slips right off, obviously it wasn't a good enough job of the blending part. Alright, then you'd repeat that step for this side of the train, you know, for this opposite end of the 6 wheels, and then the back side for the additional 6 wheels there. I'm going to move on to showing you how to do a bit of the carving for the windows and for the doors of the train. This one laid out with 3 doors. I'm actually just going to put in 1 door and 1 window just for you to see at this section. And then you can go in with a ruler and measure out your spacing. I'm just gonna eyeball where I want a door, and I think that probably here's a good spot for a door. And then that leaves me this middle ground here for the windows. And I have a double window thing going, so I'm just gonna come in. Give a bit of very light. You know what? I'm going to use my needle tool for this marking out, because again, if I mess up here and I don't like what I'm doing, I can just blend it back in. So if you would prefer to carve all the way through the train, you could do that. You could, you know, it can become part of the actual window. I personally like the idea of just having it recessed and carved only slightly back, and I can come in and clean up that carve. Alright, and that's 1 window with the curtain. So, and then I want to always go back and fix these lines to make them nice and prominent. So just take my stick here . And the majority of these tools that I'm using come in a basic ceramic kit that you can get on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. And there you have it. This is basically, finish all the sides of this and you'd have a carved up passenger train car.